Hey everybody, it's Ryan again, your Smokeout host for the Smokeout Post. First, I want to apologize for my hair in the last few videos. It was getting a little out of control, as you can see. Finally got my hair cut, so don't really have to look like Elvis in these videos anymore. Um, Last night I did show you quickly how to create the brass screen mod, and I apologize for the dogs barking if you can hear them. Anyway, I realized that mod might not be really well suited for everybody out there. It takes a lot of work. It is pretty difficult to get it down perfectly. When you do get it, set up really nicely, it's a great filter for your for your cartridges, but it does take some work to get there. Anyway, I did want to show you another quick modification that is a little more simple and hopefully it will work for some of you. And it is another great modification. Anyway, and I also always want to make sure to give props to the people who originated the ideas. This one is called the Buff Puff. The idea was originated by quite a few people, but the idea of using this certain material was from Kristen over at the E-Cigarette forum, and then I used one little addition that Scott B in the same forum added to it. Anyway, let's get into it here. I'll set you down there so hopefully you can see. I'll try to get everything in screen this time. Anyway, we're going to start off with another empty cartridge from Totally Wicked. And pop that out of there. Take the cap off again. Dig in there and get the stock polyfill out. And again, I'm not a big fan of the stock stuff that comes in there. It's really loose and it gives off a strange taste that I'm not a big fan of. Anyway, what we're using now for our filler instead, and it's actually more of a plug than a filler, it's facial cleansing sponges. I got this at Walgreens, and basically it just comes in a pad like that because you're supposed to wash your face with it. And so what I basically did first is I cut it right in half, and then I sliced another little sliver off about maybe almost a centimeter wide, and it came up with something like this. Now, if you look closely, which you won't be able to see here, but it does have layers going one way. So if you cut it the long way, the layers are actually going this way, and you want that part actually facing up towards your atomizer in the end, so we'll keep that in mind. Anyway, so I cut that strip out, and I tried it first with the smaller one, but it didn't seem to be quite tight enough, and I was afraid it would start leaking, so I tried the other side, which is bigger, and that's maybe about a centimeter and a half. And I know we're in America, but it seems that everybody's using metric system for these modifications, so I will follow suit. Anyway, so I just take that and I snip just about, I don't know, maybe another centimeter off or so. And then make sure there's no fuzzies hanging off. Then we take our blank cartridge here. And this is the part I got from Scott B on E-Cigarette forum. I clip off the first, anyway, this is a spring just from a pen, a regular pen spring. And I clip off the first couple loops here. So you can see most of it's still there. And I'm going to run these scissors, but that's okay. It's all in the name of science. And then what we do is I put it in there and I start trying to twist it down into the cartridge. Now if I have to edit this because this can be tricky, I do apologize. And I can use the scissors and kind of jam it in there and just start twisting it around. Hopefully we'll get it to catch pretty soon here. And I'm spinning it around to try to get it to catch inside the tighter part of the cartridge so that it will hold in there and not fall out. Keep working that down there. So I'm just running that thicker side now of the scissors in there, and it's twisting it down towards the bottom of the cartridge. Basically, you want to try to get it down, and it depends on the type of cartridge you have, but usually there's a little, it goes in a little bit, about a third of the way down in the cartridge. You want to get it down about that low, maybe a little bit higher towards the tip here. So, right now, I have it probably just about this low in there, and again, I'm not sure if you can see in there. Anyway, then you take your buff puff part, you make sure you find where it's, the layers are running this way towards the top, and so right here the layers are pointing out towards you, so I'm going to kind of squeeze the long side together and then stick it in there. And actually, I forgot the most important part, but we'll get back to that. You want to try to squeeze it in as far as you can. If there's any hanging over, you can take your scissors, trim it off so that it's just about flush there. If it's hanging over a little bit, that's alright. And then I'm going to pull this back out, and I got it stuck on my spring. Didn't think about that. Alright. I'll fluff it out a little bit again. And then you take your juice, or e-liquid, whatever you'd like to call it, and, oh shoot, I did realize I could scrounge up just a little more Hilton before it's completely dead, and hopefully I can get that. It might not be quite enough, but that's alright. So you just start dropping it down in there. And in these 510 cartridges, it should be able to fit about 9 or 10 drops in there. And then we're going to take this again. Again, make sure you have the layers going the right way so that it can wick correctly. And there it is. Squeeze it back in there. That's probably going to pretty quickly start soaking towards the top of this filler material. Basically, this just creates a plug that will soak the liquid up. It keeps it from draining out. I don't know if you can see that, but it's already coming to the top. I'm going to shake it a little bit. And this one's coming out good. And that's what's nice about the spring too. As Scotty mentioned while they were discussing this, you can kind of push it down on the spring and plunge it into the juice a little bit to get it nice and ready. Now I tried to get as much of the juice out of this atomizer as possible, but still some in there and it starts tasting bad when it gets dry. But anyway, hopefully you can see that the juice is already soaked up there. We're going to stick it in there, and then it instantly tastes just like Hilton. I actually had the coffee in here before I cleared it out. Anyway, I've heard excellent things about this. This was actually just the second one I made, and I've only used the other one for maybe one cartridge worth. But supposedly it doesn't leak at all. You fit, again, a lot of drops of liquid in there, and just continuously wicks, and you can pretty much vape until the cartridge is dry. Then you just pull the wick out, or the filler, and you drip more in and start all over again. So just another very cool mod that definitely beats the pants off of that stock filler that comes in the cartridges. So anyway, thanks for checking it out. You guys take care, and check back soon. Bye.